to
Lance.
fix this. Guys,
We are now kind of on air.
kind of.
Kind of.
Right.
And
You want to do your intro, Thomas?
And someone
Go
is
bring it
calling
on.
me. Give me a moment.
That's a good opportunity to do the intro in the meantime.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have much of an intro except welcome. Those of you who have been paying attention a long time, I've been running a Direwolf modern D&D setting, and we are currently on session 4 of a spin-off run by one of my players. Yeah, we can do a summary, I guess. Also, before we do start, happy 4th of July to all Americans.
Going to date the
Too bad
street
no one here are American.
Yeah, I predict 0 viewers today. At least 0 across the
Americans.
Atlantic. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? Maybe somebody want to celebrate with a
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, I was looking for my American football jersey, but I only found the cap. Sadly.
It's better than
Hey!
nothing.
5-month streak, Mots, Alistair.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
That's pretty good.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
So yeah,
no,
we should probably do a quick summary of the previous couple of sessions. Like, where are we?
right. I think I'll just do the recap. As a DM, I don't often do the recap, but just to get something moving along.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have players or something to add, please do jump in and add. So last time, you guys started by waking up in this quaint little town of Witherpool, which you have been investigating for strange supernatural or occurrences, specifically the astral ping that drew Direwolf attention. This very innocent-looking village was very suspicious on the outside, and when you woke up the next day, you didn't wake up early in the morning. I think you decided to do some nightly shenanigans. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Very nightly, very shenanigan.
So first, you gather up your team and you snuck away with armor in duffel bags. You went dun, 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 dun.
Just super suspicious all around.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Hella suspicious all the way up to Oliver's cottage, where you broke in and you found in his basement a body missing the top half of his head as if blown away by a self-inflicted shotgun wound. All over the walls was scrabbled like the scribbles of a madman, somebody fighting to keep something out of their own head, but was on the losing end. And you picked out that it may be referring to the church, which, referring back to an earlier encounter with the father of the church, was very strange. And there was a guy inside the church who killed your bird friend, Mats. Or I
Yes.
mean, should I say Salinara? So
Also, I
paid for
would
it.
like to add in that you say we broke in. It was barely even breaking in. It was like one swoop we were in.
Oh yeah, I see. It was technically breaking in, but the magic of a certain Alex and her fingers and lockpicking skills was basically just twitch twitch.
Sorry
And,
about that.
You're inside. We're doing the recap, Emerlan. So just sit back and enjoy my
Sultry voice.
smooth voice, my sultry voice. Well, let me tell you, no. And exploring the church at night turned out to be a perilous project because, as you quickly discovered, it was not abandoned even during nighttime, and the father was there. And he was rather on edge. Now, you all managed to hide pretty well, but still, combat ensued, and you took down the father, which was, by all appearances, a pretty a normal guy. I do mean you took him down. I believe you actually killed him, but then quick thinking managed to resuscitate his body before his spirit fled the corporeal vessel. And I can't quite
Hey,
remember who
I
did
cannot shoot non-lethal.
that. Indeed, you cannot. But
Murderer.
apparently he survived still. So somebody cast Revivify. Who was that again? I can't remember.
I cure wounded him.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, Nozomi used Revivify on all the other people that came, but I used Cure Wounds on the father.
Oh wait, not
I
Revivify,
mean,
because
I
that's the
use
power
Spare the
force.
Dying, not Revivify.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
I seriously
Revivify
so
is very expensive to use on faceless NPCs.
yeah. I have never
had a
seen
face
Revivify
despite your
used
attempts.
in game though. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. Oh wow, it looks creepy behind you right now, Alistair.
Yeah.
And some more villagers showed up, and basically the same happened to them before you ventured down into the lower levels of the church. And here you discovered that it had been expanded and built upon. And you snuck your way past small, stout, gray-skinned characters moving metal sheet from boxes and stocking them into shelves, organizing them. And you snuck all the way into the inner sanctum. And at this point, you had started to develop a pounding headache, a migraine-like feeling, like somebody stabbing you in the back of the neck, trying to pry your mind open. And it was increasing in intensity. And as you broke through the door, you saw the source of your pain. A massive, throbbing mass with tentacles and giant dead eyes staring at you, together with what you can only describe as a tentacled man looking disinterested at you from the back, and 4 warriors that was ready to defend this room from you. The warriors descended upon you, and you fought them off, and not without close calls.
Very close calls.
And you even managed to take down the big throbbing blob in the middle, as it was pounding you, hammering at you, some would say, with its psychic force. And just when it looked like you had won, the tentacled creature in the back said, "Well, I'm not hanging around," and waved his hand and stepped through a magical portal of his own making. Oh, wait, guess you didn't see that. From your perspective, he just went and disappeared. So from your
you
perspective...
can't really make physical emotes for the camera when we can't see you on the camera.
No, I know. That's why I make the sound effect.
You also have noise cancellation, so
Oh!
Yeah, that sound effect disappeared.
I see. Curse you, technology. My primitive forms of emoticating isn't really working. I actually do
Oh,
wonder if I want to turn
you're
that
on the
off.
same side as the people in the village hating technology.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, you might wonder why they were trying to isolate themselves from the rest of the world.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I don't feel like we need to wonder. I feel like we have a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like, I mean, we should probably afterwards go and see if they are still thinking the same thing.
Yeah. You are currently, to summarize where you are right now, you are in no position to go out and talk to the rest of the villagers because you haven't gotten that far. Some of you are watching some unconscious villagers in the top of the church, and some of you, like Ensomi, have just encountered 2 of the patchy-looking warrior creatures stumbling down an alleyway, hands on the walls, and just generally being very out of it. And upon seeing you, falling to their knees, holding up their hands and go, "Oh!" And I believe that is where we left you.
Yeah.
I'm just
pretty
also giving you
much.
a reminder to make sure you write notes.
Yep,
I'm not
everybody,
gonna be
write
doing
notes.
this season. Yep. Making sure other people learn how to make notes and not just rely on me.
This is tough love, guys. Step up.
I write notes for all my other campaigns. I can't write notes for this one as well.
you've been good. You've been good. I tend to be the default
And
note
Thomas
taker
runs
as well
the
in most of
stream.
my games.
But its quick options are quickly narrowing down Panic is rising
Yeah,
in his
runs the
eyes.
stream. Terribly exhausting work to do mid-session, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
I write my
Uh,
my own notes of things I need to
Yeah.
remember. I'm not that good at.
Do add stuff if I feel it necessary, but
Mm.
you know.
for what it's worth, though, you tend to watch the VOD back mods, which does help in
Yeah,
the recap.
that's the thing. I just use the
Yeah.
fucking VOD. I don't use notes.
But anyway, I would like to just jump right into it. In front of you and Somi is two creatures, both of them on their knees. The closest one to you is just holding his hand up towards you, kind of pleadingly. From closer inspection, you can see crusted blood, or not fresh blood, running from its noses and eyes.
I mean, based on the WOD that I rewatched yesterday, we were all sitting down and had a rudimentary understanding of just sit tight. And I have started casting comprehend languages.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
is gonna take me a moment, cause rituals.
Yeah. They seem more than happy is the wrong question or wrong phrasing, but they seem content with just sitting there and and waiting. They're looking at you, occasionally glancing up at you, Iris, which I understand is there as well.
Yeah.
While you and Somi are doing something. I don't know. Do you have like a book or something? I don't remember
Yeah.
because you're a
I do have
Where
a
do-
book, cause I'm a
Yeah.
booklock.
you're a book lock.
It looks like
So-
it's made of skin.
Ugh. Yeah.
Makers.
I was about to say your special diary, but now it's just a nasty diary. It takes you what, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
What level is the spell? It's probably it's still it amounts to the same. I don't know why they have that 10 minutes plus level rule. That's just silly.
I mean, it takes me 10 minutes and one action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
66 seconds.
While this is happening, I think Iris is meditating to clear her thoughts. She sort of does this routine that she's been told by her parents to make sure that you don't have any foreign influences in your head. And it's sort of like the Inception thing when you're trying to sort of visualize an environment and you're trying to sort of interpose different elements on it.
You
to
can make
check if, like,
you can make a insight check
Arcana.
on yourself. No, just make an insight check on yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's the most
I
appropriate check
have
for this.
my self insight.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, you're acting pretty much like you would do normally. So, as far as you know, you're free from any external influences, or if they are there, they're not exerting any influence on you.
Yeah. And I remember.
I really am
remember,
a faceless god right now. Sorry, I just
Yeah,
watched
and
your
you're just
camera.
jittering along. Jesus Christ, it looks so jarring. And I also remember that Andre was having problems with his echo, and I think the moment she sort of like opens her eyes a bit, she sort of allows herself to be concerned with the external, because I think she was very paranoid about this intrusion for a while. But then she sort of realizes, "Fuck, Andre," and stands up and kind of tries to find him. You know, it's not his echo, but it's the actual Andre.
There's like an echo that's like walking right in front of you, and as you walk up and like touch him on the shoulder, he just disappears.
Yeah. And Iris sort of stops as she's about to sort of go away from Nozomi, and then she does a little like stamping of her feet, like a little like light tapping of the feet, sort of like impatiently, sort of like, fuck, I shouldn't go, and Somi is alone with these two potential like hostiles, but Andre is like glitching out. And I remember this is a similar kind of like interference event that happened when he first got his powers, so I think she's very worried about that. So I think she's going to stay, but she's going to think about what she's seen with Andre. And I want to roll an Arcana using my like arcane researcher thing and try to see if I can deduce a bit more. This probably won't have any effect because it was something Thomas did for flavor, But I think this would be what Iris would do in that situation.
Wait, so you want to roll an Arcana to try to suss out the connection between the echo and the recent attack?
Yeah, to know if maybe there's something going on with Andre that has happened after this event that maybe those two are linked. Basically, what the fuck is going on with Andre is the role. That's what it's for.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. You can sit and have a think about that. You can roll an Arcana check for me.
So she pulls out her notebook. She pulls out her pad and starts like cross-referencing.
Roll the roll, and we'll see how well you
Do I get since arcane researcher? Do I get advantage?
Nope. That would imply you have time to do research. Now you're just thinking about what you already know.
Okay.
So you know no advantage.
Would he get advantage because we're friends and he's like seen all my we've been training together and he's seen my abilities?
No, because this is
over a long time?
this is the phenomena and not so much your personality.
Yeah, he's not trying to identify my normal abilities. He's trying to identify the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think the connection you can kind of reason about is that you were there as well. You felt the psychic onslaught of this ability, and you do know that what he's actually doing is tapping into an alternate possibility, but he is like sharing a psychic connection with those alternate realities. That's kind of how his powers work. That he's not a group mind as some beings are, but for some reason the ability that he has allows him to share a mind with an alternate reality for a while and to a certain extent.
Gotcha. So I think Iris now kind of almost mirrors Nozomi in the way that she's sitting there sort of like conducting her ritual with her book. I think
lucky for you guys, the other guys are so heavily out of it. They go like, well, all our guardians are either reading a book or sleeping, or we should just get out of here.
yeah. Iris
but just to
sitting...
move things along.
Yeah.
I think that's all you have time to do as well. You have you have been introspective, and you have been thinking about the current situation. And Insomnia has been doing their ritual, and now she's dusting her hands of any ritual casting. She's taking a drink from her canteen, and she's getting ready to do the final action of the ritual. And the spell she was casting was
Comprehend languages.
Okay. Could you post it? That's opposed to tongues, right? Which lets you speak.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna need to rest an hour before I can cast tongues.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So you cast your spell. I don't know if necessarily it's a big flare to it or something. You summon a spirit that inhabits you. I don't know. That's up to you to flavor it. This is D&D after all.
No big hubbub. It's just some reading, some chanting, some bloodletting, the casual stuff. And then ritual is done, close book. And then I asked these guys I just speak common to them and ask, do you guys understand me?
The first guy, the closest guy, looks up at you, and he scrunches his eyes together, and he says, "Do you sing? Do you sing?"
Funny. I am not certain what that is supposed to mean.
Guessing it means talk.
Just to
also.
remind you, I'm ARPing a little bit because it does say you understand the literal meaning. Just to make it not too hard on you.
Yeah.
We cannot understand your song.
Okay, great.
Happened.
So
What happened? You are not of the singers.
you are not wrong. I try speaking Sumerian to him,
Yeah.
which is basically either
We do not
celestial
underst-
or demonic.
To understand its mouth noises.
Okay.
Maybe.
Uh,
Have you tried to sing to it? I can't. My mind is hurting.
Right, because they can do telepathy, right?
Yeah.
And you guys are, I mean, Iris, you hear a very strange and foreign language, a language that you have no, you know of no earthly equivalent.
Mhm.
But you can tell that they're conversing and they're holding their heads and they're obviously in pain.
What if you try to, I don't know, gesture, or do some nonverbal communication, something like that?
That still requires a baseline of understanding to start out with. We can't make up a language on the go here without common knowledge.
Well, I mean,
Do
they've
you
been
think they
living-
want us well, Genly? Yes, Rissad. I kind of feel the master's song. Something good has happened, but just so it can't. We must fight them if they try to kill us.
They saying? Iris kind of leans in over to you, Nozomi.
Apparently, they cannot feel the master's song, and if we try to kill them, they will fight us. I feel like that is a fair assessment.
Okay, I'm going to try something. I'm going to go up with my
What
hands
are you
up.
going to try?
Just heal them, you know? Tell them to show them that we're good. Making them feel good is the universal language of we mean good, okay? Let me just
Sure.
try this.
Sure, not bad idea.
Could you roll a persuasion with disadvantage because they can't understand you?
So she's
Yeah.
holding, she's sort of like holding her hands up, like,
Yeah. These guys scramble back, and the backest one even managed to find a knife and draws it. They're just keeping their distance. They're not hostile to you, but they do not want you to be close.
yeah. No?
The one closest to you managed to get on his feet, and he takes up a really wobbly fighting stance.
Yeah.
Like, they are in no shape to fight you guys, but they will fight you guys.
Iris turns around and says, listen, I don't know how much useful we're going to get out of them when they're like this. In the short term, we need to do something about them. I mean, they are a threat to the Veil. They are Class X creatures.
Yeah, I know. I give me like an hour to get some rest, maybe a 20-minute nap, and I can talk to them. It's
And
fine.
but what about the village? I mean, after everything that's happened, they're sure to be in an interesting mood.
Let's just hope that they are at least as affected as these guys, if not more, because we are in no state to do anything else anyway.
Okay, well, what if, I mean...
And I think our primary target right now is to ensure that no villagers get down here and see any of this mess.
No, that would be bad. Okay, what if I'll stay with you to make sure you get some rest, but maybe Miss Wright should, you know, check around and make sure that people in general aren't like screaming bloody murder. Take care of, you know, the diplomacy of the others, the ones that we've knocked out and shot.
Wonderful
What do you think they conspire
idea.
about, Risan?
Iris.
I cannot tell. They're just talking to each other with their mouth flapping. I think it's their language.
Lovely, lovely mouth flapping. Iris, would you please convey your idea to the others while I
Okay.
try
I have
to
another-
unscramble my head?
I have another thing I want to try. And then she takes out some of her pack
They
because she
too
still has...
are holding their heads.
She still
They
has her
felt the song of the
autumn,
master.
Yeah, she still
Sorry.
she still has her autumn form, so she's still in this giving mood. So she takes out the rest of her food to the point where she has none, and she puts it like carefully down on the ground and sort of like pushes it a bit towards them, and smiles to them, and then leaves. And yeah, she
It
goes.
left us something.
And it looks at you like squintingly as you leave, and as you step back, it steps forward
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. It leans down, still holding the wall for support, and then steps back and starts unwrapping it, and then smelling it and like
Gave us food, I think.
I don't think they would give us food if they meant us bad, Grisan.
No, but still, if we cannot understand what they want, how can we know they don't want us bad? We must find the rest of our brethren and sisters.
They're dead, buddy.
And he's trying to move closer, and he's gesturing for you to move out of the way.
Right.
And
So
he's shaking. He's like a drunken. They're really out of it.
Iris left.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, well, you told me to go and tell them, so I need to go. And
I
tell
told
them.
you to tell them. You have a radio, you meathead.
We've already established that the radio sucks ass down here.
We haven't, but you can...
No, we haven't.
Didn't we say
No.
there's like no coverage here? Like no signal?
No, that's the cell phone coverage. There's no access to the cell phone towers down here or in the village at all.
I'm thinking that the radio would be difficult to use.
But anyway, we're dealing with the facts here, and the facts are they're making shooing motions at you. And you saw one holding
And
the wall, making shooing motions was the food.
And I'm just gonna motion for them to sit down again and sit myself down.
Make a persuasion. You don't need to have disadvantage on it because you can understand them, and this is all about body language, and you can kind of understand each other's body language.
Nice.
Okay. They confer a little bit quietly, too quiet for you to hear them, and then they apparently decide to stay put. Okay. Unless something changes elsewhere, I'm going to assume they stay put and you have your watchful rest, Unzomi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's move
I
to
am
the
gonna.
rest.
I'm gonna have myself a short rest while the other guys figure out the people.
Yeah. So, the people. You guys should be at the top here. Ignore the Unzomi token because she's just there to be able to see what's going on. Yeah. Oop, she's not actually there. Up here, Alex, you're keeping watch over a room full of apparently unconscious and sleeping villagers. And so is Andre. He has been coming up, and I think you have been pacing around making copies of yourself.
Yeah.
And Iris is now exiting from the basement, unless you want to have done something very important in the meantime. Probably you haven't had time to do much though.
No, I've been just securing the area, basically just keeping a watch, making
You're
sure
watching,
the people
are you
that...
having a look? Ooh, you've probably looked outside the window, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, outside the window. Funnily enough, on the pathway leading up here, there's one car that's clearly crashed into one of the stone columns leading up there. There's a couple of villagers on the green, but they're all face down. Some of them holding various implements that may or may not be weapons. Some of them are actual guns, and they all seem to be just lying there, face down or in various positions, unconscious, as if they were
I
heading
guess-
towards the church.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
all
no,
fell
Alex-
unconscious at the same time.
Yep. Yep. No, Alex
Mm.
smart. Alex knows exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. What
We'll
happened?
probably make sure that they are safe. Basically, she's gonna assume that they all just went bonk when we killed the thingy in the basement,
Mm-hmm.
and that they had all like kind of somehow gotten the notion of figuring out that we are here, we need to attack or something. It's true
Mm.
because I mean there were other people that did go bomb here inside the church because they managed to break in, so they were probably the first ones that got in here.
Yep.
Um,
More than likely.
Yeah. So, I did break off and barricade the door. So I'm gonna stay where I am for now and wait until I'm seeing Iris go come up.
Yeah.
But like I have like my head, my face like outwards towards the window, and then I turn my head when you come up.
So yeah, Iris sort of jogs up, sees you. Says, "Oh, okay, there you are. What's going on here? Everything all right?"
Everyone's still unconscious, so is probably the rest of the village.
Ah,
I
shit.
mean, so is the rest of the village, and I point outside.
Listen, I haven't done like my full cleanup training program. I mean, we were supposed to have like a curriculum for it, but I haven't gone through like the full training program. Have you, any of you, gone through the cleanup program? Do you know the procedures here? Because we have a whole village that have awakened to some extent. I don't know what they're gonna remember. If they remember anything, we're fucked. I mean, we have attacked them. I mean, they might think that, we helped them in some way, but
Iris,
fuck.
Iris,
Yeah.
take a deep breath. She's taking her hands on my shoulders. Take a deep breath. And she's looking you in the
And
eyes.
chill the fuck out.
In and out.
Yeah,
And she's doing actual correct breathing exercises right now. She's trying to get you to correct breathing exercises.
And then you see sort of she does it, and then she stops and kind of her eyes light up as she sort of like seems to have an epiphany. Oh my god, I remember something. Okay, listen, I've done this before actually. There was this whole town, like farmstead, that had been taken over by a myconid colony, and people were doing all sorts of weird shit, right? And then once the myconids moved out, the parasitic fungi also sort of stopped communicating these weird commands to them. So they kind of got back into consciousness, and they started to remember things, very strange things. But then I
Iris?
concocted this. No, okay, listen. This is a good idea. I promise. We tell them that there were fungus in this church. That there was like this. There are these special kind of fungus that can create hallucinations with people, and then we can just say that it's that. I can even make some fungus for us and make it actually
You
look
can also
real.
just say it's monoxide poisoning.
Yeah, but listen, there's not a big enough, gathering for that to have occurred. Well, maybe. I'm just saying that's an idea, and I can make it look real.
Alex is just like raising an eyebrow at you currently because
I
you
did
were
it
ranting.
before. I can do
You
it
are
again.
ranting. Just calm down. Let's take
If
one
you want
step
to,
at a
you can.
time.
Alex, if you want to, you can roll a what would that be? A persuasion roll to try and calm down Iris.
Yep. Not my great. Nope.
She seems stuck in her own ranting as she's trying to formulate the perfect plan for
Why did you come
explaining
up
away
here?
this event.
I can't calm her down. So I'm trying to change her mind on why did you come up here?
Meanwhile,
What's going on?
meanwhile, in the corner, Andre is standing there, and then he shifts his weight to the right. No, he shifts his weight to the left. No, wait, what is he doing? He's standing, looking out the window. No, wait, all that at the same time.
He's kind of like leaning against the pillar, looking out the window, and then he's also like leaning against the pillar with both arms, like to stabilize himself. He's also got his back to the pillar.
Yeah, exactly.
And then as you ask her that, she sort of stops in mind a bit to think, and then she sees Andre again, and she's like, and that in itself is like a Class C event. That is veiled. If anyone sees that, I mean, we cannot explain that away. Are you okay?
I guess
Can
Kinda
someone
just
please
sort of-
throw a book at her?
there's only one book in the whole church.
The book.
And it's a big book.
Iris, what's going on? Is there any new developments from downstairs?
Yeah, and Nozomi's, trying to speak to them, but it's difficult. She's doing a bit of a rest now. I needed to come up here to tell you guys to get ready to deal with the whole fucking village. I thought I would
That's
just,
fine.
help.
Yeah. What we need to know before we make any crazy plans is to figure out what they remember or do not remember.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't do crazy stuff if they're going to remember anyway.
So,
Right?
controlled
If they don't-
experiment.
We have people in here, 2 of them, and I point towards which one.
Yeah.
It clearly came in and fell on the floor just like the people outside. So I assume they did that at the same point in time. Makes sense. Probably when we killed the thing in the basement. So if we know how those 2 are gonna react to things, we'll probably figure out what's gonna happen, how the rest of the village is gonna react to things, and what they remember. So
Yeah.
let's deal with these people first. See what they remember, see what they don't remember, and then come up with a plan.
Well, the aliens and the cellar, they seem to be quite out of it, weakened and dazed. It did seem like they remembered some things, though. So, I suggest I can heal one of them, someone who's tied up, maybe, and then we can try to have a controlled experiment and see what the situation is.
Really weird you calling it a control experiment. Sure.
I mean, that's what it is. We're testing a hypothesis, aren't we?
I'm not a scientist, man. Woman. Anyway.
Sounds to me like you
Andre,
have
are you
something,
okay?
a plan lined out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Andre first because probably figure out that he's not gonna do the double stuff while we are waking up someone.
Yeah, because
just keep him out of the
that's
room.
yeah.
Yeah, you see
Also-
Andre is
yeah.
like most of the copies are now like stabilized into one that's like leaning with both his arms and head against the pillar. And like there are some variations to him, but most of them seem to be stabilizing into one now.
What about you sit down, just take a sip of water, and relax a bit. It's been a very rough day. Night, morning. Yeah.
One of the Andres says to you that it's okay. I just need to have some fresh air to breathe. While another one is saying, I feel like I need to have a breath, but I don't breathe. And the third one is saying, I don't know if you've been told, but I am not quite living. I don't think holy water is good.
And since they're all saying this to you at the same time, you have a really hard time making anything
Yeah,
out.
no.
to be honest.
No. Alex is definitely just standing there for a moment, her hand up, kind of in a kind of slightly half point.
Yeah, that's definitely class
motion.
B, actually.
And then
Yes,
going,
correct.
opens her mouth for a moment, closes it, opens it again. Or not. I don't know how to deal with that. Let me go and do the thing I actually am good at. And I go back to this. Let me talk to people. I'm good with talking to people. At least
Yeah.
investigations and stuff.
I can get one out and up.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
unbind.
DM question. Do you
Yes.
guys want to wait an hour to get that short rest in before you do anything else?
Yeah, it depends
you
on
know
how
what? Yeah, I
long
think
they're
so.
unconscious, obviously, but yes.
You
Sure.
tie them all up as well. You
I mean,
you can
we're
assume
not
that
gonna tie
unconscious
up the
people.
entire village.
Yeah.
No.
Well, unconscious people can stay unconscious for a long time without waking up unless they receive care and attention.
Actually, in my short rest, since this is an easy thing, I'm just gonna give them some water.
While
and
unconscious.
just kind of tend to them a bit to make
Yeah.
sure they're not like completely in a horrible state.
Yeah, you do this. It's fine.
I think I
and
want
with-
to do then just during
Yeah.
their short rest, if I can.
Yeah.
I will make my way outside, probably through one of the entrances that's not completely blocked, and at least take away any weapons of the people that at least entered the churchyard.
I'll also add this: as you exit, nobody approaches you, nobody shoots at you. You get no
Yeah.
reaction. You're like, there's just
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
bird sounds.
they're unconscious. But yeah, no, I'm just disarming people close by.
Yeah. Cool. And with that, I think we should take a quick 5-minute break for the players. Well, how do you guys feeling? I need to make a shock airing out of the room as well, and which is going to let in more noise. And I don't want to have that on stream. It's distracting.
Okay.
It's fine. Just remember my hard cutoff.
I'm remembering it. That's why we're moving things along. So 5 minutes. correct on the money, even. So,
We're back.
not only do the 5 minutes pass, but the short rest passes. And Thomas, give us the go-ahead. Oh, wait. For a quick question to you, Alex. You wanted to get the all-purpose tool, but you also mentioned another item, but I can't recall which one. Could you please tell me?
A cloak of elven kind, but I have it in a kind of modern jacket with a cloak thing. I'm thinking relatively high fashion because I could probably have done something with clothing from Alex's mother.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can think up something.
We can think up
may or
something.
may not have something planned already, based on all
Yep.
of y'all's magic item acquisitions.
That's fine.
And Thomas, let us know when we're live and when we will go.
We are live.
Haha! Well, welcome back from the break.
Welcome
If
back.
anyone left us and rejoined. So, I think we will start very, very quickly with with Alex and Iris as you're trying, and I guess Andre, but you're standing by the column as you're trying to wake the villagers.
One. Just one first.
Crack.
Controlled
Which one?
experiment. Priest.
Which one? The priest. Okay.
No, Alex is going to suggest not the priest because the priest was up and attacking us earlier. I wanted
And
to
got
go with
shot.
one of. Yes, I want to get one of the two that broke into the place while we were down in the cellar, that fell flat on the face. And I did tell two of these people were doing that because they seems to be in the same situation as the people outside. So, ergo, what most of the population of the village is.
Yeah. So let's take them to some separate area so they don't seeing all of their friends tied up, because that's super suspicious and very difficult to lie your way away from. So yeah, let's just take him into the hallway or something.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then can I use some medicine to get them up? I have healer's tools.
Just having the healer's tool allows you to do this easily.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, so it basically, I guess, it in a corner somewhere here. I guess.
Over there.
Yeah, sure, that probably works.
Yeah.
Let me see how they are first. I assume we have some fake ID.
Yeah,
I
From
also have
Direwolf?
my body
you have
armor
you have
off.
Direwolf issued ID that identifies you as some sort of legitimate government branch.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have my big armor off, so I now just have my vest on.
Yeah. You tend to him. Eventually, he comes around a little bit. He looks groggily. He looks at you. He looks generally like he's had a rough night. If you know what I mean.
Hey, it's you. You're finally awake.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing? What do you remember from last night?
I don't remember much from last night.
Yep.
Where,
Figured.
where am I?
You're in the church.
Church! Oh, the father's gonna kill me. I don't know how the hell did I end up in church.
I mean, and
Sunday.
Alex is gonna look towards the broken window.
Iris
Oh
is going
no! Please don't tell me that was me. Oh,
Sorry
Briss.
to say. I think
Nice.
people went a little bit overboard last night. But how are you
People?
feeling? Headaches?
It wasn't just me.
Or- I think there might have been a fight.
In the church, that's a bit of too disgraceful. I know people have been pent up with the whole virus thing, but having a fight in the church—that's a bit much. Jesus Christ! Oh, not in the church. Oh, I'm not having a good day.
Yeah, no, just sit here. We'll get you some water.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I think the father has something up there.
yeah, no, we'll find some maybe some painkillers or something for you. Okay, just sit tight.
Okay, I'm not moving if I can't help it. He says and he just
Yep.
lays back down on the stone floor.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm just gonna tend to him.
I will stand up probably.
He
give
looks
a
at
little
you
bit of wink.
longingly and gives you a wink. A flirtatious wink. What you were saying, Alex?
Alex?
Hmm.
Yep. Alex basically got what she wanted. An idea of what they are, how they're gonna react, and she is immediately making plans for a cover-up. Since we're probably going to
Yes.
have to do this a little bit fast, she's going to try and figure out a way to make it seem everyone ended up blackout drunk last night. Because I do remember most people did go to the freaking bar the evening before, and there was one dude that did not seem to be weird. So, basically, yeah. No, can I roll to try and figure out how good Alex is as coming up at the plan for cover of this?
No,
If you want to use
that's for later. That's for later.
That's for
We can figure it out. Right now, you're making plans. We can figure out how they went down later.
Yeah, okay. Her plan is basically that okay, they're all don't remember. Stuff here is broken. So you want to make it seem like at least there was some people were drunk and got into the church and made a mess, including attacking the priest. It's kind of her idea.
Yeah. You want to cut something? Do you want to cut in?
Yeah, I mean, what is gonna happen once they find out that A, there's no alcohol missing, 2, there's no alcohol bottles strewn around the place.
That's
is
part
why,
of the actual
yeah.
plan itself, that we are
Yeah.
how well we're executing it.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Because these things you can think about it in
Yes.
advance for a long time, but with that we can figure out later how well it
Yes.
went down.
The
for-
idea is that we, as the people that came in as part of like a teamwork exercise, noticed something was weird, and we ended up actually doing first aid on the people that got blackout drunk, and made sure no one actually fucking died. And that's our excuse.
Yeah, I guess this also depends on how much, because it seems like they don't remember anything from the event at all.
So
And
far,
hopefully that happens to the priest too.
Yeah.
The priest
you
is
can
the clutch one.
you can confirm with the other people, but I feel as I've said now, that'll kind of depend on how well you cover up, which you don't know how well you're going to do yet. You're good at making plans, but the execution of them, that's where the money is at, right? In the meantime, Andre, are you in this quote unquote scene, or do you want to go downstairs together with Nzomi?
He would, like, after he's stabilized a bit more and sees that Iris and Alex are handling people here, he would probably go and check on Nozomi, because I don't think Iris actually ever told us that Nozomi was resting for a ritual.
I did.
I'm good. So yeah. Anyway, Alex is gonna go down and check on Nozomi. So I'll just move him because this was the stairs, wasn't it? Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're just gonna do like this.
Yeah.
You can all move yourself over if you want to have a look, but I know that all of you. Okay, wait, no, I can do the same trick with just coloring you guys in that aren't there actually there. But yeah, you get your short rest more or less. It's not the best rest because you're kind of keeping an eye on them, but they seem content to also just sit there and have a rest.
Just quick, Alex, can you? Let's see, I'll maybe choose a color that's visible. Could you maybe move into the little nook? Since I'm actually here, I'd like to stand behind.
I already moved.
Yeah. No.
So when Andre comes down, I'm gonna stand up and say, okay. And then cast tongues. And I don't need, and there's no ritual for this, because this is just a normal spell.
Just because I enjoy these things, I'll take a little bit moment. Do you use a spell focus or do you use a component patch?
I use a spell focus.
Yeah. What kind of spell focus?
I have some knuckle bones.
That's enough. That's cool. You rattle your knuckle bones and suddenly you get a taste in your mouth. Metallic taste. The magic takes. It coats your speaking vocal cords and tongues.
And
Nobody's
I look
speaking
at
at the moment.
I look at the two guys and say, "So, you should be able to understand me now, correct?"
Yeah. The closest guy's head snaps around and just looks at you and immediately regrets it as his head, he just takes both hands to his head and go like, oh, yes, stranger, you're speaking the language. I can understand what you're saying. Why didn't you
By
say
any-
this sooner?
Wonderful.
By any chance,
Mm.
do I understand him now, as well?
You
Why would
understand
you
me.
maybe do
You
that?
don't understand him.
You haven't received any leveling up related stuff yet, if that's what you're thinking.
Okay. Did you read my PM on
No.
Discord?
As a notice, I haven't been good at catching them, so just say, oh, Matthias PM if there's something.
Yeah. Because I'm wondering
Okay,
if that is already active, if I already have that.
Ooh. That may or may be not. That may or may not be the case. Regardless, you do not understand what he's saying.
Okay.
So
That's
that
fine.
actually does tell you something.
Yep.
May or maybe. Anyway, yeah. Let's go back to the conversation. What could you recap? I think you responded to him and saw me.
No, you just got to your response, and then Thomas started saying stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm just gonna go, wonderful. Then we can figure this stuff out.
He looks at you. He sits there like this. I don't know. You can hardly see me, but he's sitting with his back to the wall like this, and his feet in front of you, and he kind of turns around and he gets on full force, and then he gets up. He seems a little bit steadier now than before. He turns around and he helps his companion to what you can now figure out her feet.
So, can you guys tell me what was happening down here?
Down here, he doesn't seem to understand. Oh, down here. Well, this is. Down here is where the master prepared for the great conquest. I don't really know much beyond that, where his research is here and he gestures to the walls. Who are you guys? Don't get us wrong. If you're the reason we cannot hear the song of the master anymore, we're eternally grateful, but please tell us, who are you?
We are here to stop whatever strange happening was going on here.
I think you did it.
I certainly hope so. We killed a big thing in a huge jar, and some tentacle-looking guy decided to retreat.
He, at the mention of some tentacle-looking guy, you can see he looks at you more intently. Retreat? Probably left us to die. No surprise there. That's some luck.
I'm going to assume so. Unfortunately, we had to dispose of some of your kinmen.
Kill them? Wait, no. Who? Where are they?
I'll like step back and point down the corridor from where where we fought them.
Yeah. He'll step after you. They're still wary, but it seems like now that he can actually converse with you, they seem a lot more amenable. So they get over here, they get over to the corpse. They're silent for a moment. And then he turns around and looks, well, it's just more blood on the hands of the masters. And Vlakeith will rise again.
I am glad we understand each other. Do you know what their final goal
Do you not have
was?
names?
Do you not have a people? You look so different.
I am Ensomi.
And so
Behind me is Andre. And I point at Andre.
Andre gives a nod.
I have a question for the character playing Ensomi. The name of Ensomi, does that have a meaning? Because you're currently under the influence of tongues. It actually may just translate.
Right. That means purple.
Purple. Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Purple.
He's yeah. He responds in purple with what you understand to be purple, but also yeah, it's your brain quickly catches up to what's going on because you can hear yourself say purple, although you meant to say Ensomi
Yeah.
in a way.
I mean,
also-
I
It's
think
also-
there's
yeah,
a
it's just a
different.
fun quirk.
I think there's a
Doing a
different
na-
intent in saying a name and the word purple.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. You're communicating both at the same time. I mean, you're both. I mean, this is the word purple, but it also means you.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah.
Also, fun
Ooh.
fact: the meaning of Andre is man or warrior. That kind of makes sense. I did not know that, but that fits my character.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's I made more sense with comprehend languages, I guess, but alas, it was fun. Right, Sven saw me. He stands up prouder. I am known as Rizan, and this is Genli. We are warriors. We are warriors of the Gith, he says, and he stands up more prouder.
And Risan, do you know where you came from?
He looks sad. We do not know where we came from. That the masters took from us. We fight, and we die. And what we know is what little we carve out from their discord.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We follow them as they lead us from world to world. They hunt for species, thinkers to dominate and feast upon. And they sing a song so powerful it drowns out every thought you've ever thought of having. He shivers.
Disconcerting. Very disconcerting.
We hold on to this thing. We are Gith, he says again. Looks proud. And I am Rizan. And he looks sad. Not everyone is as strong as Vlakith.
I'm assuming Lakeith was one of your deceased friends.
He nods. She points at what you recognize as the one that was disguised as the chauffeur.
And do you know what?
Vlakith is a formidable tool to the masters, but like us, she's a prisoner. She fights every day and every second for not her own freedom, but that of every other Gith. And until we're all free, she will not rest. And whenever she perish, her song is so powerful, she will come back to us and fight again.
And do you know what this guy was doing here? And I point at the dwarf.
I was gonna mention
That-
he's not dead. He was knocked unconscious.
You notice he stopped breathing. And Somi, you can notice that because you're attuned to death. I'm just giving it to you. He was unconscious when you last left him, or what you intended to, but he's now currently not breathing, which is usually a bad situation for living beings to be in.
Yeah, I mean, if you had told us that earlier, we could have done something about it. Now he's been dead for probably like an hour or so.
It was a slight change. Chalk it down to bad luck. You guys didn't notice either. But you point to the creature, and Risa says, that is a Duergar. They are deceitful, greedy, but also hardy and industrious. They are, like us, brethren in suffering. We suffer under the yoke of the master. But even less than us, their song is deadened.
I see. Was there any other people with you here?
He squints his eyes. People. Beyond the four of us, there were no more people. Wait, what? No, you didn't say the people, you said people.
Yeah.
I think there were a couple more Dwergar.
I see.
Since you're using tongues, you need to be more specific on your D&D terminology. You can't say humanoid, you have to say creature, because that covers everything.
Yeah. That's why I said people.
Yeah.
And now that you are freed from the master's bond, what would you do?
He looks at you kind of dumbfounded. And then he says, nothing for a moment, he seems to think. And then a hand creeps up behind him and on his shoulder from the Yith behind him, gently. And she says, we must fight. And he turns around and, yes, you're right. We are eternally grateful. But the master, if you tell true, Ruldir did not die and he will still come. They come from world to world to feast. They do not know defeat. They will come again, and when they come to dominate and kill, we will be there together with you during our defeat, and we will die trying to kill them. And fail. Because we always fail. But they will always succeed. They always do. You should get a squeeze behind her on the shoulder, and he looks up behind him.
I mean, with that attitude, they always do.
These people have known subjugation for their entire existence.
Yeah, I know. I'm being an ass.
Andre will, because he heard what you asked, and he heard a long answer, so he will ask you actually what they answered to that. Because also, what they're going to do now is something he would be interested in. So he's going to ask you, Nozomi, what they said.
Again, you did the asshole thing of casting tongues on yourself instead of him.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only cast tongues on one person.
I'm just joking. Also, it would be a hard sell to cast a spell on him, since it requires touch. What did you want to do, Alex? Andre, I mean?
Oh, I just asked Nozomi to translate.
Yeah. I'll tell him that they want to stay here and prepare to fight the masters when they return.
Maybe you should tell them about Agent
No,
Scorp.
wait. We don't necessarily want to stay here, but we want to stay with you. You can clearly fight with the masters, and when they come again, you will bloody their nose. Because Ruldir can understand you as you try to convey what you're saying.
Yeah. Andre then says to Nozomi, maybe you should tell them about Agent Scorp. He was like that master, but he's one of good guys.
I think we'll take that discussion when we are a bit closer to that.
Fair enough.
And I'll turn to the Gith again and say, well, I hope you will join us to our organization. Then we are part of a organization called DIREWOLF that works and lives to protect this realm.
We are part of an organized company registered in the state called Big Scary Wolf.
Well, this is luckily
translation.
not tongues. You understand it. You are part of an organization called DIREWOLF. And he kind of nods. And we will be proud to fight alongside this direwolf of yours. And pleased to see your world free of the song of the masters. Until they come again.
And then we will just have to stop them again. Now, I don't know how it is where you come from, but most people here have never seen either magic or anything outside of this realm. So you will have to stay hidden while you stay here. Or stay with us.
We owe you a great thanks. What you tell us to do, we will do to our best of our ability. As long as you keep speaking a tongue I can understand, unlike your friend.
I will do my
Speak a
sincerely
language,
best.
actually.
Do you speak any other languages than your mother tongue?
You
When
ask
the
them?
master sings, all of us can sing together on the waves as his song. But beyond that, in our secret times, we speak this language. You know the language. You speak it too. Which, I know that you cast the spell. We know magic. We learn it. This is why our masters think of us as useful tools, because they refuse to wield it. So, I guess you don't know the language of the people.
I do not.
No.
But luckily,
It is
we
the
can
only
bridge
language we
that
speak.
gap with magic.
I'm certain Vlakith could learn your language, but she is skilled in magic and mine as well.
You said Lakit always returned to you. How does that work?
Well, the people, Gith, are powerful. When it comes to mind, we can carve out our own spaces. Not everyone is as strong. And Vlakith has a powerful psychic presence. So powerful that when her body is destroyed, she can seek out another body of the people. And if it's a weak-willed, she can take over, and their song become her song. And in that way, she can return. She could leave, but she refuses to. It is she who have taught us that we are the Gith. It is she who has taught us this language.
So Lakit might take over one of
Not
your
Lakith.
bodies.
It is spelled in this very particular way. Give me a moment.
Is it Vlakith, as in with V?
It is
Because
like this.
Vlakith are...
Plus an H.
Yeah, that's how I spell it.
It's just a name. This is a different universe. Just want to remind you.
Because Vlakith isn't that the gods of the Kith or something?
I may or may not pick that name on principle just to fuck with player knowledge. But this is a different universe, and while inspiration might be drawn, you should not rely upon your knowledge of other worlds.
Oh, it's raining again. And sunshine.
It's not raining where I am, actually.
But yeah, as I said, so Lakit might take over one of your bodies.
It would be an honor if she did, but I do believe they are weaker minds that it would be less pricey to take. I would not fight it if she chose to pick me, but there are brethren who are easier to inhabit. And he looks to Jenny, and Jenny looks back at him. Yes, we would give ourselves up. She is the soul of our people.
Could she jump to someone on another realm, or only on in this realm?
I do not know.
Wait,
But
She's
you do
probably
know-
with our brethren.
who is jumping? Taking over?
You only have her here half the conversation.
Yeah.
Apparently, the one of their warriors has a spirit that can repossess someone else's body.
I kind of look around Nozomi at that you get, and can it possess whatever they other beings, or just them?
That's a good question. Can Lakit only possess Gits, or can she possess anyone?
He looks at you a little bit disgusted. Would you choose to be a bug if you could be a great warrior? No. This is a senseless question.
Ironically,
I'm not gonna comment on the fact that we just beat Lakit. But you say Lakit would be with your brethren. Where is your brethren then?
I know this isn't a useful answer, but our brethren is probably with the masters. Even with Roldir or with the masters back in the great ship. But certainly somewhere. That is who she is. She will not rest until she's liberated us all. But we can tell you this much. We can try to reach out for the song of our people, but I don't think that will be possible. He looks at gently. Moreover, that probably will touch the song of the masters. If you are as powerful as you say you are, you may be able to defeat us if we... No, maybe we... No, we are warriors. We will fight. We will not fall to it, but... Listen. The masters has many of us on their great ship, but not all of us are awake. We sleep on journeys between stars, between worlds to be devoured, and we was woken up to be brought with the Roldir down on this planet. And there's hundreds of us left, probably still sleeping. Somebody may be even on this planet already. Roldir is arrogant and ruthless, but also cunning. He would have not have let this place fall unless he had other means. And he will keep on coming unless you could take out the ship that holds the great mind. But that is a task that is beyond anyone's scope, and so you will fail.
We'll see about that. Is there anything here that would be useful to our cause?
He shrugs. You could check out Roldir's chambers. If anything is of value he left, he would have left it there.
Wonderful.
But beyond that, he gestures to the walls with all the metal plates. If you are able to read the master's writing, you could have a wealth of knowledge about your people. That is his job after all. To learn and subjugate and prepare.
So he's the harbinger of invasions.
Yeah.
First.
Seems like it.
I will not comment on that because you're not there.
No, this is me, the player, saying it.
Yeah, figured.
Okay, I will radio the people upstairs and ask. So, it seems like the people we have been fighting have been under control, just like the villagers. How are the villagers doing?
I will answer.
Mhm.
Seems like they all dropped when we killed the big flashy thing. We woke one up. They do not remember shit. Don't know if that applies to everyone, but I have a feeling it might. Seems to act as if he think he was blackout drunk.
Useful.
Yeah. I have already a couple ideas in mind of how to cover it up. We just also need to make sure they do not enter the basement.
Yeah.
I want to give you guys a little bit of meta knowledge in the middle of this conversation, just quickly. I've stressed that several times while you've been playing. There are no cover-up team easily and readily to jump in and cover your asses.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why
Yeah,
Iris
please,
freaked
not
out.
done. That is dependent on time as well as severity. If you guys call into headquarters about what's going on now, and they're allowed to a couple of hours to get around to get here, that might not be true. But I want to stress that it's not the same as in the other campaign where things came in like 2 rounds later, which is 12 seconds. This is not the same situation, but like a couple of hours and this scale, you are more likely to get qualified assistance.
Oh,
Alex
definitely.
can suggest to Nozomi that she can. Well, she did tell them that she disarmed the people outside, and also says she can outside the village to give Direwolf a heads up in case we need to only buy time for maybe a couple of hours.
That seems like a good idea.
They seem to be
So-
out of it for the moment. Again, as an idea is we can make sure they think, for now, at least, that they were blackout drunk, and I suggested there was a fight in the church last night.
So,
I
to speed things along.
yeah.
Yeah, just to speed things along. What you guys want to do now is you want to find, I guess, Rildir's chambers. You want to have a look at the villagers, and you want to secure the area until backup arrives, right?
Yes.
Also, I can suggest that if we need to remove the gifts at some point, we do have access to the car they had that had tinted glasses.
Good thinking.
If we need to hide the gift.
Now, in order for that to happen, some of you guys have to leave town to get a signal. That's
Yep.
trivial. We don't need to play that out. And then there's stuff coming in. So what I'd like to jump to is you guys being led to Rildir's chambers, which is a secret or a more concealed compartment in the complex that you haven't found until now. And it is Rizan and Jinli that shows you the way in Somi.
Wonderful.
But do you want to say something else or add something to that, Thomas? Because you started speaking.
Nope. Not
Nope.
important.
Cool. Rizan and Jinli shows you kind of what looks like a pod, but upon closer inspection, it kind of slides aside almost magically, except if you can sense magic, you know it's not magical. It slides aside. And inside is a small but very comfortable looking sleeping pod. I want to stress this, it looks very alien in design. And there's also a small container made of very right angles, and inside of it, you find what looks like a couple of meters of a very strange and shimmering fabric. And the artificers among you recognize that this fabric has protective qualities that might be refashioned
Two cloaks
into
of protection.
maybe into something called you could call a cloak that protects you. Maybe cloaks of protection. There is also a circlet that has like wavy looking patterns on it that maybe look like brains. Yeah. That this and
and also like some spikes on it. It looks very interesting. That's what I'm saying. That may or may not be what you can identify as a headband of intellect.
Oh, shit.
It seems like Rule Deer kept some treasures in here, either for his own use or use among his. I was about to say allies, but you know,
Slaves.
they're not allies. They're thralls or whatever. There is that, and there's also some ingots of a strange and unidentifiable material, but that you will later learn is, in fact, an analogy of mithril.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. And also what looks to be an alien screwdriver.
Oh my god. Was
Yeah.
the doctor an illithid or something? What's going on?
And it clearly,
Who?
like, wait, huh? Who? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah. I think that's what you can find in there. And just, guys, relax. If I didn't mention it now, you can obtain it in some other ways, but I find this was an interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
You obtain alien materials, guys. That's pretty dope.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tis indeed.
And the thing about the headband is, if you ever put it on, I'll describe it. But, yeah.
Was the headband something that someone bought?
Yeah.
Unless
Meta, it should go to Andre.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless there's two of them suddenly.
Ooh. By the way, as you showed the corpses of Vlakith to Rizan and Yengli, Rizan has picked up the silver sword.
Didn't we take
okay.
that?
Wait, I told you
great
about
sword?
it, but I was doing it meta-wise.
So yeah, because we remember we talked about.
Okay, we have to do a little bit of mental. We have to do a little bit of mental gymnastics here, and I'm open for input. But you guys didn't know it was special, but it was the only silver sword that didn't dematerialize upon its wielder's death. But you also guys seemed a little bit preoccupied. But I needed to tell you about it because it might implicate your leveling.
Yeah, well, remember we had this big discussion about Thomas picking up one of the psionic stuff to get because he was going to do it anyways, and then using the sword would be pretty good for him.
Okay, then mental gymnastics. We will say that you have it and you have picked it up. You have tested it out and noticed that its edge is razor sharp, but only if you really think that it should be razor sharp.
Perfect.
You know, understand what I mean? And as you're walking,
it's like someone is just like, silver can't be that sharp, and looks at it and it's like tested it, like it's not like this wouldn't make a good sword. And then Android takes it like, what do you mean? This cuts through wood like nothing.
It does, and it even gets a couple of centimeters into the stone of a frame if you're that stupid to be near stone. It's really sharp. But yeah, as you're leaving, Rizan looks that you have the sword, and then he says something gentle. How long does tongues last?
An hour.
Yeah. So you can still hear this because you're shouting. I think that is the song of Vlakith. Actually, that's not what he says.
Then what does he say?
Yeah, I know. I think that is the sword of Alnitak. So you are the one who took down Vlakith, then. That is a powerful weapon you're wielding. You have no idea what he's saying, Andre.
Nope. I just see him looking at me and talking, and I have no idea. And I can't even read his facial expressions because it's all alien to me.
Yeah, these are aliens.
Yeah,
they are very
literally.
alien.
I will for a moment like wait for Andrew to answer and like wait. He's saying you have the sword of Alnitak and you must be a very powerful warrior to have brought Blackfeet down.
Andre just sort of like holds the sword out a bit. And then he kind of remembers, thinks back to how insanely low all of us were in that fight, and well, tell him that it was no easy feat.
Also, I think I actually brought Lakeith down, but I'm not certain.
There's a voice behind him from Genlei saying, he do not understand our tongue. Oh, well, how silly of us. Friend Nzomi,
Yes.
please tell him. That is the sword of a great warrior he's wielding. Although it was well made by the masters, or even the Dwargar, we cannot know. We know that you are friends, but tell him to be mindful. The rest of our people, the gift, may not look so favorable upon it. They might think it is theft, and they might try to take it from him by blood, because that one has been wielded by Vlakith for centuries.
I will relay this information on.
I will have one promise from you, warrior. He says and look at you, Andre.
And I'll relay this information.
He waits for you to translate it.
Yeah.
When you die in the fight, do not resist when Githhan comes to claim this blade.
When?
Yeah, and I'll tell Andre. So they ask that when you die with that blade, don't resist when Git come to claim the sword.
And in the meantime, you shall know its story.
And now he want to tell you its story.
Oh boy, you have more of that
This
spell.
silver
It would
blade
be
was
much
forged.
easier.
I
I know you don't.
I am going to go. Okay, so for you to talk to Andre, I'm just gonna make something a lot easier for all of us. If you don't mind, and then I'm gonna step over and cast tongues on him.
I have a.
That is the spell you casted upon yourself. This time, Andre, you understand him.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah, you're looking up something, Andre?
Yeah, it's not urgent. Maybe Celia, since you're not in this scene, maybe you could look it up for me.
What?
Because
I'm going to.
I'm trying to delegate so we can move on.
Yeah. me too.
Because I know that artificers can make some magical items. Could we make anything that gives us comprehend language? Don't need to answer me now. I'm just curious for the
It's
future.
10 minutes until her heart cut off. Probably just wait until after, and we'll look it up. I probably won't come up again.
You clearly didn't hear
He
what I
tells
said,
you.
so let's move on.
I'm just going to paraphrase. He tells you the story of this blade, and if you let him, and it's a long and storied blade, but the gist of it is that this particular blade was made and honors Alnitak. It is a triple star system, and the brightest and the second brightest is what we on Earth know as the Belt of Orion.
Ah.
And it's on Kanka if you want to look it up, sort of Alnitak, but you can do it later.
Nice.
Actual space blade.
An actual space blade. That's right. Right. You guys all wrap up and you go back to headquarters. I know that's a bit abrupt, but that's what happens.
And all of this new dugout underneath the church. I'm gonna cover all the new dugouts up with mold dirt because I can.
You do that
Nice.
because you all take steps to safeguard this. But in terms, you're back in headquarters. You're back with Penny. And you're being debriefed. And you tell her what's going on. And I'm going to assume you don't hold anything back because, as far as I know, there's no reason for you guys to do that.
Can I
But
assume correctly
there might be
that...
personal.
Yeah, can I assume correctly that Squib is in the meeting as well, since it was his mission?
Yes. He has not met the Gith, and the Gith are not in this meeting.
No, just that he's in the debrief.
Yeah.
He is. So he learns all you've learning. And he looks more and more agitated, particularly when you come to talking about this big blobby this mass with tentacles, and the other guy who looks like Squib. He goes like, "Oh, this is grave news. This is bad. They have come. Those people. Those are my people. The terrible people. They will eat your brains. I don't speak of them much because I really hate them." It has come as I have feared, and you must prepare to defend your world. And he is really agitated. And he knows who these people are, and you're able to ask questions of him about them. But I do think we might take that next time, as we start on the second arc.
I think you're right.
But as we're closing out on this arc, the thing that takes the takeaway is that, well, they must come again. They are arrogant. They do not know defeat, but we can't defeat them. They will fall to their own arrogance. I know this because I used to be part of them. So we must just wait until they reveal themselves and make a mistake. And then you must go to them and strike them and learn what you can to trace them back to where they came from.
Well, we definitely know of a way that should make it easier to track them, because it seems like they need to take down telecommunication in the area to ensure their signals get out properly.
That could just be
Oh.
to prevent humans from calling out for help.
It's possible, but
It is part of their way of doing things. Isolate a population until they establish a threshold, until they establish a presence. That is how they do it slowly, insidiously, all the while feasting on intelligent life.
still a useful way of looking for first signs.
Now that we are prepared, we know they are here. If you can find them again and capture them, we could trace his link to the greater mind and try to learn the location. That is
They're
all I can think of
suspicious.
right now. I dare not try to contact it myself. It will eviscerate me.
That is understandable. Also, we'll have a longer conversation with the Git and introduce them to this benevolent master.
Wait, to me?
Yes.
Oh, I do not think that is a good idea, Insome.
Okay then.
I have seen freed Gith before. They tend to be rather homicidal, of my kind. I don't get the 2-second word in.
That's
In fact,
why I
I would
planned
be a
to
little
talk
bit
to
more
them
comfortable
before.
if you told me about them before I showed up to this briefing.
That's why I want to tell them about you before I introduce you.
Maybe deal with current crisis before you start another word hunt for this.
Whichever.
And I think the briefing is at an end unless there's anyone else that want to add something. For example, Alex.
I think-
been quiet for a while.
But
Uh,
Alex is fine.
I think Iris exclaims that hunting these creatures seems a bit above our current capabilities. We were only
Well, then you
trained for
must-
class D and E containment.
Well, take some time for him to regroup. In the meantime, you're right, you should train. And we are stretched thin. Analyzing the
would-
situation, it will probably be a while. Yeah?
I would like to take a closer look at that weird alien technology thing, and I actually points towards like probably a picture of the evidence of the screwdriver.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say now, meta-wise, in the
Yeah.
time skip until the next arc,
that will happen. You will have learned it, and you will have either not reproduced it. You might even own the original.
Yep.
You will be allowed to acquire all of it. But yeah, a lot of it is actually alien technology in origin, which I think is fitting. And yeah, we have a hard cutoff at 8, and I'm leaving it with very little space left. But if there's anything else you want to do or ask or think is important that you can accomplish in 1 minute,
Not really.
Death to the space squids.
That's to the space
Move!
squids.
I am a space squid.
And to the other space squids.
We can.
That's right.
I can do a very fast forward roleplay summary. Andre is gonna ask Agent Squirp if he has anything to help against these migraines that the Elder Brain is giving us. Everyone else is gonna be like, yeah, because it tried to control us and stuff, and then Iris is gonna be like, wait, you still have a headache? And Andre's gonna be yes, and that's gonna be something related to like why he's his new level of
I agree with
abilities.
this. I agree with this. I wholeheartedly agree with it. And you're gonna be taken into some more stuff,
Checks,
and
yeah.
and Zomi is going to spend more time looking into this, and you are going to be able to acquire your purchase that wasn't covered in this together with your rod of something.
And my new.
If you guys want to hang it out, do some more role playing, possibly there's. No, wait, I don't have time either. Ha! I guess that's it for this time. And for the next time, in 2 weeks, we will reconvene as the second arc starts, and I can reveal the following. You will be going to Ukraine to follow the lead. The ping of the astral is resurged once again as you hunt down those who wish to consume this whole planet. And why you're on the case, nobody knows, because guess what? There's bigger problem. What those are, we don't know yet, because we're not playing in the main campaign.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to cast so much tongues, aren't I?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Also,
The
just a funny,
comes. There's some tongue
just a
into the
funny
gun.
side thing. For some reason, your camera is better now.
Yeah,
I-
I think it's like I think it's because it's actually less light outside.
yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
I need to go, guys.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. My text is all messed up again. Just turn that
Yeah,
off.
because she left.
Yeah.
So, is this stream still running, or are you wrapping it
No,
up?
But we can wrap it up. We haven't really talked about it because of vacations and stuff, but assuming everything goes as normal, we will be back on the 17th in 2 weeks. But things may get jumbled around a bit if people have vacations and stuff. So we'll see, but the tentative date is at least the 17th in 2 weeks
Yes.
for the next session. Today was a short stream, but it was fun, and we finally got to wrap up the story of this arc. Yeah, some new exciting items and level ups are already ready for next session, so it's gonna be a good one next time.
Yeah.
So make sure you pop by, and thank you for watching.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
It was. Looking forward to everyone joining this time, wherever you are.